depending on who you're with, their personality is going to be what it is. And if you're with a person and she's just controlling or she's bossy, that's just part of a personality, and it doesn't mean that she's trying to parent you, right? You kind of have to know who you're with. Uh, but I do think to that point, though, if you're going to be with somebody, you do have to be careful that if you come into a relationship with that perspective and with that mindset, that could be a turnoff, and you will find yourself less attracted to that person because you kind of feel like you have to control them. So,
all right, for the next topic, we got parenting versus partnering. We got a video for that. Stay tuned.
Your husband listened to everything you told him to do, he wouldn't be your husband. He would be your child. You see, there's a big difference between parenting and partnering. And marriage is supposed to be an opportunity for two people to come together with their own ideas, their own opinions, and challenges that you guys get to work through in deciding what is best for the both of you to continue growing and moving forward together. But your controlling spirit will trick you into believing that by you being in control and dictating what happens and when and how, that you will just feel better, that things will just be more efficient that way. But what I want to remind you of is that your controlling spirit is only an opportunity for you to lose yourself, build up a whole bunch of resentment, and eventually burn out. You understand?
Ladies, very articulate. All right, Luis, we're going to start with you. What you got?
Parenting versus partnering. This is interesting. One of the things that she led with was, two people coming with their own ideas and their own belief systems coming together and joining, and sort of, I didn't see any middle ground of what was really attaching these people together, right? Because if they're not really cohesive, they're not really a good mix. I mean, they're always going to be conflicts in relationship. There's always that tension, but I mean, the way that it was presented, it was more of like that it seemed like the weaker link is going to be guided, right? Whether it's the woman or whether it's the man. At least that's the perception that I took it as. But no like real partnering was presented. Like, what is that? What is that middle ground? What is that conflict resolution? And sort of for me, I think one of the things that I took away from the video is that I think that it's a bit contradictory. I think that the premise of it's a little bit contradictory for me, at least.
All right, we'll go to Sahil.
So just a little context. So what's the question here? Because I heard what she was saying about, some woman wants to be controlling versus, I'm not sure where she's going with that. And the reason I said it because depending on who you're with, their personality is going to be what it is. And if you're with a person and she's just controlling or she's bossy, that's just part of a personality. And it doesn't mean that she's trying to parent you, right? You kind of have to know who you're with. But I do think to that point, though, if you're going to be with somebody, you do have to be careful that if you come into a relationship with that perspective and with that mindset, that could be a turnoff, and you will find yourself less attracted to that person because you kind of feel like you have to control them. So I'm not completely sure where she was going with that, but I can't see how being controlling could affect the relationship and be a turnoff, especially for a guy.
All right, I want to play it one more time, just so you guys can get the context here.
If your husband listened to everything you told him to do, he wouldn't be your husband. He would be your child. You see, there's a big difference between parenting and partnering. And marriage is supposed to be an opportunity for two people to come together with their own ideas, their own opinions, and challenges that you guys get to work through in deciding what is best for the both of you to continue growing and moving forward together. But your controlling spirit will trick you into believing that by you being in control and dictating what happens and when and how, that you will just feel better, that things will just be more efficient that way. But what I want to remind you of is that your controlling spirit is only an opportunity for you to lose yourself, build up a whole bunch of resentment, and eventually burn out. You understand?
Okay, yeah, I got the context now, yeah.
Okay. I'm going to go to you, Hank. What are your thoughts about it? Parenting versus partnering.
Yeah, I don't believe in partnering. I don't me and the woman is not the same, so we're not partners. So, and I assume she's talking to the women, right? Correct? Because parenting, that's the only people I know that want to parent a grown ass person is a woman. So, yeah, that's a problem. And for any man to accept that, you need to let your nuts drop or something. And I don't understand that, dude. I just don't. I mean, you looking for these what we call them homosexual dudes you can control and manipulate and dictate on everything they do. And if that's what you want, so be it. Yeah, but that shit's gonna get old for a dude after a while. He's probably gonna get tired. His homeboy is gonna be making fun of his ass, talking about she got your ass pussy whipped. Yeah, that doesn't sit well with him.
All right. We'll go to Sean, then Ricky.
Bruh, man, Hank, you just took the words right out of my brain, bro. This is the thing, man. It depends on how you want to define gender role, right? If you're a man and you believe in like this is my position in the household, shorty, we're not partners like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm driving this car. Sit your ass down, look pretty, real talk. So it depends on how you look at gender roles. If you look at gender roles in that way, then I don't need you to be my partner in that way. And I don't need you to be opinionated. And I think too often in relationships, people think that having a title means that you become somebody's parent. I don't need a fucking mother. I stopped listening to my mother when I was a teenager, when I was 14. And you ain't gonna fill that void. It's not gonna happen. You're not my mom. I'm not your dad. But I am gonna run this crib. You feel me? And so I'm gonna need you to fall in line or keep it pushing.
All right. Go ahead, Brother Rick.
Yeah, I agree with what Sean Antonio said verbatim. But I think the part that everybody not that she mentioned that nobody mentioned yet, I ain't gonna say miss, but hasn't mentioned yet, is that in a lot of these situations where they say it's not good to mother a man, but y'all do it anyway, and then y'all blame the man for the undue stress y'all put on y'allself because you don't want to do it on his time.
Did you hear what I said?
Right? What y'all got to understand is that, again, if you don't like the way that man lead, move on. But whether you made a good choice, a bad choice, or a different choice, he's still the leader. He's still the leader. Like I said it many times. Y'all show is Jesus freaks and Bible thumpers. I want a man of God and all this until it come to y'all following the rules in y'all relationship. Oh, he my man, but I ain't got to listen. He my man, but he ain't the head. Y'all put yourself in a position of telling that man what to do and then get mad because you took on a role you wasn't supposed to. And then complain about, I'm stressed out. I got to handle all this stuff because he You ain't never give him a goddamn chance.
Nope.
And then when he do, you don't like the way he do it. I don't like the way he washed the dish. I don't like the way I got to do it my way. That's all I got.
All right. Go ahead and get to Sweeney. Sweeney, what are your thoughts about it?
I think, all right, so I took what she said a different way. I think, honestly, if she was on this panel right now, she would be 100% in agreement with everybody that already spoke. What I think she was actually doing was warning women who have that controlling nature. That's what she was doing. That's who she was speaking to. She was speaking to the women that say, I want a man to just do, why can't he just do what I ask him? Why can't he just do what I say? And she was telling them, like, you going into that relationship thinking you don't want a man that you can control, because at that point you become his mother. You don't want that. And on top of that, more than likely you're not going to get that because you can't make a man move. You can't make most men move against what they want, where they want to go, or how they want to move. So you wind up frustrating yourself. He doesn't do the things that you think that you want him to do the way that you want him to do it. He's going to do it his way. And then you wind up on TikTok talking about how you taking on all the emotional labor in a relationship because you're stressing your damn self out. And then you get resentful. And then you want to start counting who does what and what does what. If he doesn't do it the way you do it, so you go behind it, so you go behind him and do it yourself. Now you count and say, well, I had to clean the dishes today because he didn't do it the way I wanted him to do it. So now you feel like you're doing all the housework. Or now you feel like because you had to go work a few extra hours at work, he's not doing his job. She's warning women that if you have that controlling nature, you don't want to enter these relationships with men because they're not going to move the way you think they're going to move. And also, it's going to drive you nuts.